Sorry, I had to stop that because the limit's 15 minutes and 30 seconds. But I was saying is like these pasty face zombies have like, you know, acid for blood in a way. But what I liked about the film is simply for the fact it was I thought it was a fun time waster B movie. I liked the cast. I thought people in the cast did a fine job. Hauser I enjoyed. Hopkins I liked. I liked both of those guys in it. Nothing original. I mean, even it's a total B movie, but that's kind of why I liked it. It's an 80s B movie, and I'm a sucker for those. Not all the time, but a lot of times, especially when actors I really enjoy. I thought it went at a decent pace. There were certain scenes that stuck out in my mind. For example, there's a sequence where Hauser, well, actually the girl, she's, like I said, a part-time school teacher, and she goes over, and there's this little boy. She chases a little boy into the school to try to tell him what's going on, to keep him safe. Meets up with the little boy, and they hide in the bathroom. One leads to another. You find out that pretty much all the other kids in the fucking school are these, I'm just going to call them mutants. These mutants, pasty-faced mutants. And they actually grab the little boy, because they're hiding like in a stall, grab the little boy and pulls him under, and she's trying to help. Although not too much. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It's like, you could try a little bit harder, but pulls him under, and it's not mean-spirited or anything. It's not gory or mean-spirited, which I thought was fine. You didn't need his fucking head ripped off and shoved up his ass or something. You didn't need that. But I thought it was like, wow, that was kind of ballsy that all the kids in the school are pasty-faced zombies. Okay. That's pretty interesting. Kind of like in George Romero's Dawn of the Dead when you had the kids that Ken Foray had to shoot. And then Hauser comes in and saves her, has to climb through the bathroom stalls and save her. I like that sequence. I like the ending bit where, now that I can actually see what's going on, they have to sort of fight these things. Hauser and this girl hide in sort of a hardware store, and they deal with this asshole, this redneck that Hauser dealt with at the beginning of the film. And they sort of had to hide out, but don't expect any Assault on Precinct 13 type of deal, which I would like to see, but I'm guessing, low budget. But they hold a lot of them off. And again, they're sensitive to light, so they use that to their advantage until the cavalry comes. Which, that was another thing that was kind of weird, because Hopkins, he gets a gun, shoots a couple, mutant ass. Then when he finds the female doc dead, he's depressed, as you got an idea they at least had a friendship together. But then there's a bunch of mutants outside, and then later on, Hauser gets there and finds Hopkins' sheriff hat. And then he's like, well, how the fuck did he get out of there? Because he comes back at the end, he has the cavalry, and they fuck up all the mutants. He's like, well, how the fuck did Hopkins escape? I would like to have seen that. But, whatever. It says, like, how the fuck did he escape? But that's fine, because I like Hopkins. I didn't want to see him die. People are like, oh, you spoiled it. Well, it's a B movie. It's not like it's a fucking twist endings and shit. It's a film from 1984 that, even when I review it, doesn't mean you don't see it. It's not facts, people. It's just opinions on a movie. But I liked it went at a fine pace, at least for me. I like John Bud Cardos as a director. Even if the films aren't perfect, they're quirky, like The Dark, or they're entertaining, like Kingdom of the Spiders, or it's a B-movie time waster like Mutant. Hauser, Hopkins, the idea of the toxic waste thing, turning people into these mutants with this sort of type of, what the hell you want to call it. I know the female doctor explained, but I didn't really follow her science and shit. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. Shots where the small town is pretty much deserted and Wayne's Hauser and the girl have to, like you have a scene where her father is turning and, you have the bladder effects again. Nothing that gory, but, low budget, but bladder effects. Basically, her and Bo Hopkins have to save the girl from her own father. And again, it's not wall-to-wall action and it is low budget, so I'm not saying you should expect much from this film. I'm not, you shouldn't expect much. But for what it had to do, I thought it did it fine. I was fine with it. This is one of those films that if I had cable when I was a kid, I would love to have seen it. I got cable like later on in like around high school and something, but yeah, you watch it. I just didn't really find that much bad about it. I didn't really find that much that terrible to warrant, okay, now it's a public domain. Well, 9/11 did, the original is a public domain. Uh, Sometimes it's just I like certain actors, and it's nice to see them get the good guy lead role, and when they do a good job, and it's easy to root for them, then that can go a long way for me in certain movies. That's, for example, Wings Hauser and Bo Hopkins in this. Although, again, Nightmare at Noon, I don't know, maybe it's a film I need to see again, but when I first saw Nightmare at Noon, I actually saw it with my friends Effrey and Mike. It didn't really appeal to me. I had seen this before that film, and I still like this film more than Nightmare at Noon. But, that's just me. Uh, but if you're ever interested, I'll try, if I remember, to put the trailer down below and both parts of these. Feel free to give it a look. Again, this is why I didn't want to review it, because, it's hard to go in depth. This is not a film I hate. This is a film I enjoy. It's a B movie, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of people watch this and go, why the fuck you like it? And I'm like, what the fuck you, yeah? Or where the hell they talk. Another scene I really enjoy, I could mention this, is when Wings Hauser finds his brother and what happened to his brother. Because the sheriff goes, okay, you stay with the old woman. What about her daughter? And Wings Hauser's like, what do you mean her daughter? All we had was the old woman. Then you find out that the old woman had a daughter, and the daughter was a mutant. And that's what took his brother. And then the scene when Wings Hauser finds his brother, I thought Wings Hauser did a good job acting. Having to deal with the mutant creature. And yeah, it's not wall-to-wall action or gore and stuff like that. I would really say it's not a gory film at all, and it's not really a violent film at all. I would go that far. And it's not action-packed, it's not heads exploding or, tons of bullet squibs and stuff like that. But, I don't know, for some reason, I like the idea of the toxic pollution type thing. I don't know why. I don't know, because it makes me think of stuff like Chud, which I like Chud, and you ultimately find out that was because of toxic pollution. Hell, I even watched The Being. I could watch that movie. Which, in a way, that was dealing with, I think, toxic pollution as well. But I like Mutant more than The Being. Because at least this stars Wayne Hauser. The lead in The Being, I didn't care for. But for some reason, The Being, I could watch as a time waster. I don't know why. If I review that film, it'd be impossible for me to be like, why aren't you ranting? I'm like, I don't know. But I don't know, just for some reason, the idea, the toxic waste being dumped in a small town and turning people into these either creature or for some reason it's appealing to me. I don't know why. But either way, I like Mutant. Or as it's known on IMDb, Night Shadows from 1984. Which, to be honest, which is weird, on IMDb they have yet a different cover. And then if you go to Wikipedia and look up the poster of this film, I like the poster that's on Wikipedia. I'd show it on here, but it'd be so bright that you can't see the poster. But it's like, it has nothing to do with the movie, but like in the middle, it's almost like an H.R. Giger type, not creature, but kind of like, when Aliens, when they went in, the Marines went in, and they looked at the wall, and the wall was like covered with like cocoon or whatever the hell type shit on the wall. It looked like that in the middle, and then at the bottom was like a small town, and it said like mankind will find out like not all terror comes from the skies or something like that. Granted, it doesn't really make sense for the movie because that middle portion, there's nothing HRD about this movie, but visual, it's simple, but yet I like it. I think it looks better than this, or better than what the hell they have for all these other DVD covers and shit. But again, for what I understand, this is a public domain, which is strange, which is probably why you get these kind of DVD releases. But at least I can see what's going on. And you go on YouTube, you type in Night Shadows, 1984, Mutant 1984. For me, for fans of B movies, and you like people turn to mutant creature, I shouldn't say creatures, because when I think of creatures, I think of actual creatures. Mutant zombie type figures, and if you like Wayne's Hauser, give it a look. I mean, I liked it. Maybe you will if you don't. Oh well. But, yeah, I enjoyed it. So, either way, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you later.